Hi, so another wee update. This week, start off with a weigh-in. I'm going to do a weigh-in, a wee health update and an update on a PhD. So I was planning on doing this video this morning when I had makeup on. I was looking a bit better, but I ran out of time. So I'm doing it now, and I'm supposed to do this video on a Monday, but I've been ill all week. So I'll start off with my weight. So this week I'm actually 15 stone 4 point something. I think it's 4.6. So a big change from the 15 stone 11 that I was last week. My weight is just does crazy things at the minute, and I'm not sure why. So, I was ill all week with migraines. I did actually eat this time in between, and I was only sick the once. So normally when I'm being sick for a couple of days, then I'll lose some weight. So I weighed myself yesterday morning, and I was 15 stone 5 point something. And I thought, well, that'll probably jump up overnight because I was feeling a bit better yesterday. So I ate more, drank more, but it's come down again. So I'll see how that goes by Monday. Again, obviously weight loss is weight loss, but I still need to think about, what's causing it. This might shake because my hand is shaking really bad. I still can't find my stick to put my phone on to record. So I'm just holding it. Plus this way, I just try and get it done in the one take and not bother with edits just because I don't have the energy for that at the minute. So if you notice any mistakes, that's why I haven't edited them out. So, yep, health has been lots of migraines. And normally I have a migraine, it'll last a few days and it'll go away. But this time I had it a few days, it went away and I was like, hallelujah. And then it came back a couple hours later, but on the other side of my head. And it was really horrible and throbbing and didn't like it. So I tried lots of things to try and get rid of these headaches. I took the dispersible aspirin that my first GP told me to take. And then I tried paracetamol. I tried the migraine cap, which helped for the first headache, which wasn't the throbbing one. So it did ease it because you take it out, you put it in the freezer. I would suggest leaving it a wee while just because it's so solid that it can hurt a bit, even just putting it on. But when it cools, like when it defrosts a wee bit, it's actually really helped the first headache. The second headache, it didn't help because it was pressing against that pulsing, throbbing headache and it just hurt. So it didn't help for that. What else did I try? So I tried the sumatriptan. I think I'm saying that right, sumatriptan, which is a migraine medication that the GP gave me. And I tend to not take it because I feel like it doesn't really make much of a difference, but I thought I was trying everything. So I tried it and it made me feel really awful. For some reason, it gave me really bad gut pain, which everything does at the minute anyway, but it gave me really excruciating pain in my shoulders. So then I had to try and ease the pain from the shoulders. So I used my acupuncture, like my prana mat. So my acupressure mat. And actually that really helped with the pain that I was getting in my shoulders. I also had lots of sit down showers. So I tend to do that when I've got the migraines. I will sit under the shower, just having the water just beat right down on the area of my head that is really hurting. And then normally what I find is straight after that, I'll go straight to bed with the towel wrapped around me and try and get asleep as soon as. Because that's when it sort of eases me enough to be able to do that. So another issue that I'm having, which I think is contributing to the headaches, is I can barely see. Like, even I'm recording this video on my phone, looking at myself, and I can hardly see myself. So I'm not sure if it's the diabetes playing up with my eyes, or someone very kindly messaged me and said that she has the same condition, so she has dermatomyositis, and she developed cataracts, which I know is a possibility because of the steroids. So I'm going to have to look into it because no matter what I do with my bloods at the minute, it's not changing the eyesight and it's quite scary. But I'm at that point where I'm like, who do I call? Do I call the optician or do I call the doctor about this? So I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But the good thing was my appointment for my pelvic scan has come through this week, which means, so that'll be on the 25th of May. And this is a follow-up because of the they're keeping an eye on an ovarian cyst. So this is, I think the first time they seen it, I had an 8-week follow-up, and they said it looked like it had slightly shrunk, they thought, and so this is a 12-week follow-up after that. So that came through in the post, which I've been waiting on, so that'll be good. And while I'm there, if they say that it's shrunk, I will need to look further into, well, you know, is this what's causing all these issues? Because I pretty much bleed all the time. So I'll look into that. Another good thing is, when I was lying in bed on the prana mat with the migraine, my consultant called me for the first time since July last year. So I'm glad he called, because there's been... What's that? Oh, mating flies. There's been so much going on with me that I got to the stage where I'm like, I don't know where to start. I don't know who to call. Do I call the consultant? Do I call the GP? What do I say first? Like, I don't know what's impacting what. So I was glad that he called, and he said that that's him back in clinic, which makes sense, because I think he was on COVID duties. So I think now that he's back in clinic, that makes sense why I haven't heard from him, because he's a really good consultant and he normally keeps me up to date, but I have not heard from him since July. So he called me to say that he had noticed that no one had been checking my tacrolimus levels. So this is some of the medication that I take to help stop the lung disease progressing. But you've got to check the levels in your blood and stuff. And I'm supposed to be getting that done once a month, and it hasn't been checked since last May. So he was asking, you know, has MD been in touch about this? And I was like, nope. And then I asked him about rituximab and how I told him I haven't had rituximab since last July, and I thought that he'd maybe just decided to do it once a year instead of once every 6 months. Well, twice every 6 months. And he said that no, it hadn't been a conscious decision. So basically, I've been overlooked again. This is not the first time I've had to chase up the rituximab. So he did, but he's kind of said, oh, well, but it seems like, he's like, the disease is under control. And I says, no, it's not. I'm actually using a walker now because I get so exhausted and I'm getting pain and stuff. And he said, oh, you know, you didn't have to use that before. So he said, he'd get me into clinic, he'll give me a full MOT. So I think he'll probably arrange for more CT scans and stuff, because I told him my breathing sometimes gets a bit off as well again. So I've probably got a lot coming up. So it's good that I've now got him on board, because then when he sorts out some of the stuff, then I know what to go to the GP with and what's like he can help. So it just, it feels like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it was just too busy. Everything was too much. I didn't know what to do. So that's how health has been, and that has impacted on PhD progress, or lack of. So last week I thought I was doing really good. I was pushing myself. I was going to some cafes and getting some PhD work done. But then towards the middle of the week, my son had some issues had to take him A&E and stuff with his throat. So that kind of took away one of my study days that I'd had planned as well. And then obviously I've been in bed since Sunday till today. Well, half day yesterday. And there's no way I could have done any PhD work. And then I got a wee email from one of my supervisors asking how it was going, and I thought, the pressure. But I just was honest, said it's going a bit blah. And while I was doing good last week, this week I've been taken out with migraines and sickness, so I'm going to see what I can do next week and then send something over to him. So he said, you know, he was really good, and he did say well done for making progress. So he knows that it's difficult at the minute. And he did say maybe arranging a meeting soon just to discuss what's happening, and which, you know, needs to be done because I'm supposed to be submitting in August. So I think we're going to have to discuss another extension. So it's really frustrating that the good work that I did last week then just got messed up this week. But I really, really hope that next week I can do quite a bit. I'm going to have to really push on with it. So lots to do. And even that's the thing that worries me about. It's great that the consultant's on the case again, but once this appointment comes through, you know, am I going to get treatment, or am I going to have to go in for lots of different examinations again, scans, x-rays? So that's going to take away from PhD time as well. And the treatment makes me feel a bit yuck for a while anyway after it. So I'm just going to have to see. I can only do what I can do, but I really, really want, and plus trying to do a PhD when my eyesight's terrible. Like, I'm literally in the supermarket, my mum's watching me, and I'm like trying to look how much the reduced stickers are, and because I've got some reduced stickers food, and I'm holding it up in front of me, and I'm like this. Like, that's how close I have to get to stuff to be able to read it with my, and I've got to take my glasses off. So it's difficult doing a PhD with that. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to get this PhD done. I'm going to get it submitted. I'm going to be Dr. Graham. So fingers crossed. So I know it's later on this week, but I hope that you get to spend your spoons on something fun or relaxing or something that makes you happy over the weekend. See you next time.